Good morning. Today is Tuesday, October 7th, and I am here for another collective reading for this week. Because I've been doing so many tarot castings, and it's been a lot of fun, and it's a little overwhelming to some of you who might be new to my world, I just figured for this week I'm going to do a simple 3-card spread with a little tarot cards, Lenormand tiles, and the words are spells buttons, just to kind of give us a general outlook. I am using the second edition of my Rider-Waite Redux in my Moonlit Fae everything here. These are officially available for pre-order. I will be placing the order on next Tuesday, since Monday is a federal holiday, Indigenous Peoples Day, I believe, and I will be placing the order on Tuesday. So if you want to make sure to be part of that, go ahead and give us a pre-order. It allows me to know how many decks I need to use. So here's it all fanned out. It just slides so beautifully. So anyway, let's get to it. I'm going to do a general beginning, middle, and end of the week and see what we have in store. Okay. So this mat is one of Jenna's shuffle mats. It's supposed to help you have a nice clean surface if you're reading cards somewhere that maybe the tabletop isn't that great. Okay. I know I shuffle weird. Okay, cut the deck. Beginning, middle, and end of the week. So we've got beginning, middle, and end. Put this here. Back in the bag. Alrighty. A little slow going. I've been up for a while with Braxton. Full Moon Basset is in full effect. Alright, so beginning of the week we have the Empress. I like that. I like that. Starting the week with that energy of what, what it is that you want to bring into your spaces, what it is that you're creating and ushering into this week. Are you going to focus on projects that were lingering from last, things that maybe, like, this is the opportunity to focus on what you want to grow this week. How about, let's put it that way. Middle of the week, we have the 5 of Pentacles. So there might be some setbacks. We might feel like maybe there's a little bit of being left out in the cold, or just really needing to find the helpers, right? And I feel like collectively that's just been a vibe. This could be on the world stage, like we need to stop shutting our doors and, maybe building a longer table instead. And then the end of the week, we have the 7 of Wands. So it looks like there might still be some pushback, but you need to stand strong in your boundaries in order to be able to be sitting pretty, right? It's a great week ahead. They're not always going to be sugar-coated. They're not always going to, life sometimes, this is the life. This is the, there's always going to be ups and downs, and that's okay. But in order to be able to remember what it is that we're creating, sometimes, like if it's a new endeavor that you want to do, you have to put out money, you have to put out your resources, and maybe it's a little scary, but just stand your ground, and in the end it's going to work it. If we're looking at a world stage, maybe we need some feminine energy to step up. Maybe this is the matriarchal idea of it's time to nurture everybody. And this, she can lead into this, because it's like saying, well, you know what, just because our doors might be closed, we don't know the side entrance. We don't know the other ways in. We don't know what the bigger picture is that's going on. And there's always going to be pushback, but there's also always going to be people who stand their ground, who show up to do what maybe those that are weaker cannot, So let's see what Lenormand has. I'm going to do a tile below each one to give another energy of it. So for the Empress, we have the child. That's very appropriate, right? Because she's commonly associated with that pregnant state of mind or body, or it could be a literal pregnancy, but it's the start of something new. Something small, new, and worth protecting. The Five of Pentacles undertone, we have the book. And to me, that really speaks to, there's things that need more research. There's things being uncovered. More information is being brought to light. And that is a good sense whenever we're faced with something that might feel like a hardship. It's always good to seek more information, and then there's a better understanding of what this middle of the week is going to look like. So even if things start to feel a little bit like hard, cold, you're, just the feeling some sort of way, look further to expand the knowledge on the situation. And then the end of the week, we have the tree. And so the boundaries talk about your roots, right? They talk about that part of us that's branching out. They talk about the things that maybe this is something that has been part of us for so long that we don't know how to step away from it. But again, like I said, there's always going to be pushback when you're thinking outside of the box. And so I'm going to bring in a word to wrap each one of these up. So for the Empress, we have navigate. And so I see that as navigating, charting the course for the new things that you're doing this week. For the Five of Pentacles, reveal. So this brings another layer, and this lets us know that things are being shown to us for a reason. And towards the middle of the week, something is going to come to light, and that's where this book comes into mind. And I just see that right there is going to be some sort of catalyst. Something's revealed to us. I can't help but think about on the world stage again with this card, things are finally being shown. They're no longer being in the dark. And because of that, we're able to look for a new solution. And the boundaries, we have inquiry. And so in order to branch out, in order to really find where this is coming from and why we're standing our ground, seek inquiry, ask ourselves, what is it worth to you in order for you to show up and stand your ground, and even in the face of pushback. So I would love to say it's going to be a light week, but that hasn't been the style of this year or the last few years. So we've got this. We are, if nothing but we are resilient, and we can endure so much. So whatever you're facing this week, I do wish you luck if it's a startup, and just know that hardships do happen, but it's not the end of that journey. It's just the 5, right? There's still more to come after that. And so if it's something you really believe in, then don't be afraid to stand your ground. Be sure to join me for the rest of the month as I do our daily show and tells of the casting stickers. And in that, they're also little mini readings, even though they're demos. They tend to be pretty on point. And check out the pre-order for the second edition of our Rider-Waite Redux deck. And I will be here next week with your collective reading. I hope you have a good one. See you later. Bye.